So John Wick Chapter 3 comes out tonight, and I wanted to go ahead and review John Wick Chapter 2 because I'm a completionist. And I have a lot of thoughts about the second one. Absolutely love it, but I do like the first one overall. I think it's better in terms of an emotional impact. But the second one is definitely better in terms of action sequences and just overall memorable scenes. So John Wick came out in 2014, and this one came out in 2017. The first one obviously was very successful, so they wanted to go ahead and make a second one, and Keanu Reeves was totally on board. He went through more training with this one specifically in terms of gun training, and there's actually a famous video online, and it just showcases the amount of commitment that he has for this role. He is pretty much John Wick. He knows how to handle a gun, he knows how to handle himself. This video showcases that. So John Wick 2 takes place moments after the original one. He's done. He did his deed in the first one, and he just wants to get back to his normal life. However, someone from the past finds out that he's back in this world, and he decides to use John Wick to kill a family member in order to become like this high-ranking person. It showed that John Wick made a deal with this guy in the past to complete this impossible task. There was a blood oath, and now he has to go on this mission that he doesn't really want to do. But he's still really good at it. This movie showcases that there is a lot more to this continental world than just the city that they're in. And when he gets to Italy, it showed that it's not just people in his city that knows who John Wick is. He's known throughout the world. I also love in the beginning of this movie where the brother of the bad guy from the first one says the exact same thing that John Wick is known for. It's basically the exact dialogue. It's just from him.
John Wick is a man of focus. Commitment. The sheer fucking will.
And I just like how this movie reveals more about his reputation in this world. He is obviously well known throughout this community, or whatever you want to call it, this continental thing that is obviously apparent. One of the things I noticed about this movie too is it's got more color correction. In the first one, when it was daytime, it had like this gray tint to it. It wasn't overall that bad, but in this one you can just tell that they decided to add daylight, and that was one of the things I really appreciate. I mean, I didn't dislike that style from the first one, but I just liked how this one was more colorful. Not necessarily colorful, but it seemed more real. When they were outside, it actually looked like they were outside. There was sunlight. Maybe it was just cloudy in the first one. I don't know. I also like how there's more star power in this film. Common is in it. Ruby Rose is in it too. She doesn't really talk, she's mute, but the character is still cool.
Reflections of the soul at the new modern NYC. We hope the exhibit.
And Lawrence Fishburne is in it. If that isn't an indication that this franchise is a representation of Keanu Reeves' career from The Matrix, I don't know what is, because that's pretty obvious.
John Wick, the man, the myth, the legend. Mr. Wick doesn't remember, but we met many years ago.
I also love the scenes in this film where John Wick is basically shopping, where he has to get ready for this mission. I love how casual it is, where every owner of the shop is like, "What would you like, sir?" And he's like shopping for guns and bulletproof vests and stuff like that. I absolutely love this scene overall, and I love how like all these people know who he is.
Custom bolt carrier release and charging handle. Textured grips, should your hands get wet.
And I can't say it enough, the action is just better in this film. As an action film, John Wick 2 is superior to the first one. I love the first one to death from an emotional standpoint, but the second one from action sequences, there's actually, if you Google John Wick action sequences, there's more from the second one that's revealed on YouTube more than the first one. However, I do want to point out that the first one is more emotionally investing because of the dog. The only real reason why John Wick is in this situation is because he's forced to do it, and the guy blew up his house. That is enough to get revenge, I get it, because we see also that the picture of him and his wife was burned in the explosion, so that's like something. But I just feel as though the dog being killed in the first one was more, you know, you got that, you understood. However, even though it's less emotionally impactful, I love it from an action standpoint. I think it's far superior. There's a lot more memorable scenes. And I love the subway sequence between him and Common. I think that was really cool how like they have to nonchalantly shoot themselves with people around. So that's really cool. One of the things I do also want to mention too, after watching this a second time, I do believe that this film was basically made just to lead up to John Wick 3. It's pretty obvious at this point that this was just made so John Wick 3 can exist. And one could say that this has kind of got the same problem as Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, where it seems like this is a movie that's just being made for a third installment. However, if you're gonna do that, I feel as though this is the proper way to do it. If you're going to make a movie that leads up to another film, have stuff that is happening in this film that is cool and memorable, and then make your third film. Don't just make it stale or forgettable. This film, even though I like John Wick 1 better, this has a lot more memorable scenes, especially the scene where he kills guys with a pencil. That's why I watched John Wick 2. So yeah, those were my quick thoughts on John Wick 2. Absolutely love it. Love the first one more from an emotional standpoint, but the second one, if I just want to watch John Wick kill more people and do more action-ridden stuff, this is definitely that film. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I'm going to go see John Wick 3 now. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Comment down below what you think of John Wick 2. Like this video, share it, and please subscribe to Pixel Talk if you haven't yet for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and gaming content. Thank you guys so much. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is Pixel Talk.